There he is. He's up in them trees. There's good one. Yes, sir. You gotta keep them coming when you get that head up. 6XD, got him. It's a good one, man. I love to do that.
Hey guys, I'm Bassmaster Elite Series Pro Keith Combs, and you know, one of my favorite techniques is to catch fish winding a plug. And today I want to just go through some of the, I think, some of the things that keep anglers from really wanting to develop their crankbait skills, and some of the misconceptions I think people have about throwing a crankbait. You know, one of the big things that people tell me is, you know, I hook them cranking, but I lose too many fish, and a lot of that is really equipment. And over the years, I've had to, you know, definitely develop a system that helps me. You're going to lose some fish on anything, but most of the fish I hook on a crankbait, I get them in the boat, and I think a lot of it is due to the rod is a big part, and so is the reel and the line and the hooks. I think those are the main things that probably the rod, the line, and the hooks are the things you have to emphasize on the most. I like a glass rod for all my cranking. This is a Shimano Zodius 172 medium heavy glass. And the reason I choose this rod, there's two things. One is when I'm on my back cast, I can really get this rod to load, and I can make those long casts with a crankbait, which is essential to get your depth. The other thing is when a crankbait fish usually comes off, it's on the jump. And what this rod does is, you'll notice it has a very parabolic bend. It flexes throughout the rod. You know, there's flex down here, there's flex all the way up to the tip of the rod. Well, when I'm fighting that fish and he comes up and jumps, if I keep my line tight, the rod is going to almost move with the fish to help me keep that line tight. So it's going to, you know, compensate for those big head shakes. So the rod is a very important piece of the puzzle.
Little fish, bigger. No, bigger than that. Golly. I don't like that snoot hook. Just let him do his deal and get tired. I don't think he's gonna. I know when I get him up here, I ain't gonna have nothing to grab onto. Let's give him a shot. I grabbed old Bill. Old Bill snockered him. Long and lean.
The line is equally important. You know, if you have too heavy a line, this is 15-pound Seaguar and Viz-X, which is kind of my staple. You know, I'll use as heavy as 17 sometimes, and I'll go as light as 10 sometimes. But 15 is a good base. So line is important for several things. You know, you need something strong enough, because if you're cranking mostly for largemouth or smallmouth or really whatever, you're probably going to hit the crankbait on the bottom, on some rocks, on some wood. So if you go too light, you're going to get a light line that's going to get necked up. No matter, even if it's a high-end brand like, you know, Seaguar, you have that potential. But things that people don't think about on line is what draws the bite a lot of times is that crankbait hitting something and deflecting. So a heavy line is not going to have the same deflection You know, a 20-pound line is not going to let that crankbait do the same things that a lighter line will. That's one thing that you have to consider with line. And even, you know, small things like when you're fighting a fish and he's coming up to jump, a light line slices through the water and it helps you. It really does. It helps you fight that fish, you know, where a heavy line is going to have a lot of drag. Catching every fish on a crankbait became, you know, like, that's what I want to do. That's a perfect day for me. So I've really worked on those little small intricacies and pieces of the puzzle. Hooks are equally important. As you can see, I'm hooked right now. These are very sticky hooks. These are owner STY 35s, and I mean, man, they grab everything. So that's very important. And also, what is very important to me in a hook is that they're rigid enough to where that fish is not going to be able to shake and flare that hook out. So these are strong hooks. They're stronger than a round bend. These are the hooks that I use for almost all of my cranking. And another thing about these hooks is you'll notice when it lays on the belly, it's not a normal hook. You see the way it's built, the angles of the trebles, it lays back like that, and that's going to give you more bite. It's going to give you more hookups.
Bam! Yes, sir. That gets rid of that 1-3. I didn't know whether I should flip him or just slip him, or we just sling him on in the boat though.
This is probably my #1 crankbait that I won money on. It's the Strike King 6XD. This is a new model. It's the hard knock, but just you know, everything from the silent to the original 6XD and now the hard knock. That's just a great line of crankbaits. If you're looking for one to just get you get started with cranking, 6XD is probably accounted for more tournament wins than any other crankbait, and it dives well. This is a 18-foot diver, give or take a foot.
What is that? There she is. That's a dang old good in there. Yes, sir, boys. Don't. Boom, baby. God, I love this game. Oh, that's just dirty right there. Ooh. Y'all stay off my hole now, son. You hear me?
You know, equipment is very important, and it's just everybody's going to fish a crankbait different. You know, there's a lot of successful anglers that really have a different style of cranking than I do. So it's, you know, it's not like I can tell you, here's how you go do this. It's one of those things that you got to get out there and experiment around on. But hopefully today I give you some tips on landing the fish that'll give a guy more confidence to go out there and throw it in a tournament situation and know when he hooks a big one, he's going to get it in the boat.
Bigger. Biggin. Two of them. It's two of them. Hey, I told you my spot didn't suck.